Welcome to the Kids Table, where the conversation is about fitness, but the maturity level is questionable. 3 industry leaders that still love what they do.
The one and only Gunnar Peterson, legendary trainer's trainer and athlete whisperer with over 35 years of top of the field experience. The true fitness GOAT, and also holds the title for the biggest smartass on earth.
Then you've got Luke Milton, our favorite Australian import, former professional rugby player and a group exercise and business expert. Now you've seen him on Khloe Kardashian's Revenge Body and is known for his perfect combination of humor and genius. And then there's me.
Weird if you do your own intro. All right, you guys know Jen. She's an entrepreneur, world-class trainer, author, wellness mastermind. You may recognize her from The Biggest Loser. She's a trainer. She's the woman aging in reverse and keeping us in line. Ladies and gentlemen, Jen Widerstrom.
So pull up a chair as we talk fitness, the business of fitness, and give a voice to trainers everywhere.
It's informative, it's inspiring, it's where everybody wants to be. This is the Kids Table.
Today's episode is powered by Yeti. Get in, get out, get going. Today is a milestone. We've got our first ever guest, so naturally, we invited someone who could dunk on the 3 of us at once. Meyers Leonard is a friend and a former NBA player who spent nearly a decade holding it down in the paint. He's also a 7-footer with a nasty 3-point shot. These days, he's rebranding in the most unexpected way possible. Country music. Yep, country music. Not only is he jacked, but he's also a jack of all trades. Please welcome to the Kids Table our first guest and possibly our new emotional support binky, Meyers Leonard.
Gunnar, you are the reason we are connected to this wonderful man. I think
I just had his contact.
Wait, let's just pause for a second because Mizey just absolutely shotgunned to beer. This guy's just gone up 10 notches in my book right now.
It's pretty much,
Change your flight,
98% water?
Yeah. I call it country water.
Country water.
But that's because I'm from the sticks. We'll get into that at some point, I'm sure.
Wait, I thought you were from Illinois. I thought you were from...
Well, I am, but rural.
Oh,
not
you're down.
Chicago.
Oh, I'm up your... I'm like, if I said Chicago, my friends would make fun of me. I'm from Naperville, Lisle.
Yeah, my agent's from Naperville.
Okay, great.
Anyways, yeah, I'm down.
You ever go to the Lantern?
Nope. I didn't really make my way up there.
Good place.
My friend Ty that I told you about who built the bar in his basement, the Poodle, that's also in Naperville. So you got a couple places to go.
I like that. I have a feeling if I were there, I'd just go to the Poodle.
Yeah, you
based upon what you've described.
He put a beer fountain into the wall.
Sensational.
Yeah. So Luke and I met you at Zane's basketball game a few months ago. And I remember thinking, who's this guy? Because you were yelling at the ref. You weren't yelling at the ref. You were creating color commentary,
No doubt.
shouting suggestions.
In real time, yeah.
At an 9-year-old?
9.
Zane
yeah,
is
9 now. 9 now. I was trying to think, but yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, the whole
It's a
team was
pretty
8-9,
exciting
match
game. I don't watch a lot of basketball.
Well, the ref was, in fairness, very serious. He was refereeing Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
I was like, wow, this guy's into it.
But Myers was like barking at him, and I was like, this guy. All I knew is you were rooting for like Zane and our people. I was like, he's with us. He's with us.
We're in.
Would you like to give a more profound intro than the one I just gave, Gunnar?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to throw that to Myers.
Okay.
What's that?
Do you remember how we met?
Through Golia?
No, I sent you to Golia. You called me about training.
Oh, shit.
And you said, I'm going to come. And you said,
yes.
Okay, got it.
Too late now, son. He was going to come down and train with me in 2017.
How long was it until you took the job? Or had you already?
No. So I hadn't taken the job, and you had locked me in for the summer to train.
Pre-Lakers is what you're saying, job.
What's that?
Okay,
No,
now
I'm going to tell you about it. So
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Now it's making sense.
So
Coming
Myers
back
had
to me.
locked me in a few months before coming down.
Yep.
He said, I want to come down to LA. I want to train with you in the off season. I said, okay, great, lock it in. And I used to see anywhere between 6 and 21, I think was the most NBA guys in the off season. And I go, okay, locked. And then I got offered, literally like a week before he came down, I got offered the job of director of strength and endurance for the Lakers from Rob Pelinka, current GM.
Shit.
Yep.
And everybody in my family said, I sat my family down. Do we do it? Anyway, so I took the job, and I had to call the guys who I knew were coming in. And I called Myers. I go, look, I don't want to screw you over, but this is an opportunity. He goes, I completely understand. He was super gracious about it. And then he goes, can you work with my wife? I said, I can.
Oh, no way.
Because I had carved that out with the Lakers. And then I said, I have somebody for you if you're open to it. And he goes, I'm open to it. So I sent him to Ben Bruno, and they became fast friends, trained together. Right. I would say you improved massively with working with Ben, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because Ben's great.
Ben's
great.
He's amazing.
And I worked with Ellie all my time with the Lakers, inconsistently from a time standpoint, but we made that work.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I called two other guys who I'm very close to, who I worked with for years and years and years. One of them, Kevin Love, who's a dear friend and godfather to my kid. And Kevin goes, damn, I'm happy for you, and no one deserves it more than you. I'm happy for it. It's cool. We'll work it out. And he was very cool about it also. I called another guy, and he goes, just trade me on the side, G. And I go, dude, it's like I'm telling you I'm getting married, and you're saying, let's make out in the hallway. Like, I can't do that. And he goes, come on, they'll never know. And I go, because I loved working with him. And I go, I can't. And I didn't, but it was funny, just the different approaches to it, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how I met Meyers, and we just
Wait, so
stayed
then you
friends.
guys actually never trained together?
Nope.
Initially, I was obviously super bummed. I was like, damn. Because maybe we'll jump into this, talk about my career or whatever, but I knew that I've spent my first 7 years in Portland, and with all due respect to the strength staff, loved them, loved the coaches, but I just needed like a new scenery, a new set of coaches and thoughts and all these different things.
Energy,
I love those
guys. Yeah.
I love those guys too until 2020 when they made us train in the hallway when the Lakers came up there.
I do know this.
This was so great.
Shut up.
Yeah. This was so great. And because I always made our weight room available to visiting teams. I just think that's the way it is. And I had a strength coach, Eastern Conference guy who I've known for years, love him. He said to me, you have to treat them the way they treat you. And I go, nope, we're treating them the way we treat them. How they treat us is on them. So I literally kept a box in our weight room with a welcome note that I hand wrote. It had caffeine, it had like a split, it had protein bars, Gatorade, and I just kept it in there figuring
Like a fun stash, yeah.
Yeah, but just so they had that. I saw that somewhere, and I copied the idea anyway. But I think that's just the way you do it, regardless of how they treat us. So we always had a good rapport with most of the teams around the league. Some places they didn't let you in the weight room, and we had a strength, a big crate, and we opened up. We took just like the essentials on the road. But in Portland, we'd bring it, but we never had to open it because we had access to their weight room.
Yeah.
Until we didn't. And I went one time, and they go, "Can't work out here." And I was with JaVale McGee, who I love. Our center, big man, great dude, incredibly hard worker. And we trained every time pre-game and sometimes post-game too. He was just on it. And we went, and he came down to me, and I was walking down that hall from the weight room.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I'm coming. I said, we can't use the weight room. Let me get stuff out of the crate. And he goes, what do you mean you can't use the weight room? And he was pissed because, as you know, athletes, there's a rhythm and a superstition, and you know what you get, and you know how you have to prepare and be. And he was pissed. He was hot.
Change a guard. I don't get why year one you fine, next year you can't.
Let's do this later.
Yeah. That's a personality thing.
But to double down on what you're saying, schedule for me, like every game day, same thing, same meal, same nap time, like all the things. So keep going.
So we did anyway. So we got it done in the hallway. We made it fun. We brought music. We just set it up, and I, the guys
That's
who
the
I
good thing
work.
about you, Gunnar. Even when there's an issue, there's no problem.
There's no problem.
Yeah.
There's never going to be a problem with working out.
That's what I'm always.
That's
so impressed.
professionalism, right? Like you can have a problem, you deal with it, so the athlete doesn't have to.
By the way, our strength staff was terrific. Chatton Hill, Ed Strike, current strength, who I love, right? Buns, shout out to Buns. But we could make it fun anywhere.
Saying it.
We could make it fun anywhere, and we had just the right stuff in the crate, so we made it work. Cut to first play of the game. JaVale curls around, takes a lob, and just throws it down. And as he comes running, this could be groundbreaking for this podcast. Watch me go. As he comes running down past our bench, he looks at me and he goes, "Fuck Todd." the guy who blocked us out of the weight room. I was like, oh, he's playing now with he has something in his mind, like it's personal now.
Yeah.
And it was just, I fell out of my seat laughing. I go, he's still carrying that? That was 2 hours ago, but it was funny to me.
I mean, 82 games in a season, sometimes you got to find something extra rev you up, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
But he looked over to me and he yelled at it. And I was like, oh my God, he took that to heart.
Oh, yeah.
But on that, Myers, like finding something else to rev you up, like it's because the opinion of most people is like you're an NBA player, you have access to absolutely everything.
Sure.
What makes you reach out to an external source like Gunnar? Like what's that drive? Why do that?
Oh, man. Well, I just knew that I needed not something more. Again, everything in Portland was great, but I just felt like I was kind of stuck. And I ended up I couldn't work with Gunnar, but I started working with Ben. I started working with Golia, who I met, of course, through Gunnar. Real quick, you know what? I'm just going to pump you up here to start the podcast. Literally all the most elite people that Ellie and I, my wife, have been connected with, that when we really need something, this guy.
Yeah, but that's only because I've been around forever, and I'm very
fair, but you also care.
Very intentional with my relationships, and I vet them before I ever refer them. I would never refer you to somebody who I have not vetted because I can't take those calls. Dude, your guy stood me up. I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yep.
Totally. But regardless, it wasn't that I felt like I was on my way out of the league, but I knew I needed to do more.
What's the timestamp on this? Sorry.
I would have been summer of
2017. 2017 when I got hired by the Lakers.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So you're like 7 or 8 years into your career at this point.
5.
Yeah, 5 years into your career.
And I was like, all right, because I had a big playoff run. I got a little bit of money, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Something's not right here. And I've always, in my whole life, just in general, like losing my dad early, like I always had to push myself for more and more and more and more and more. Like, how do I take care of my family? You know, how do I get a scholarship? All these different things. And so I wanted to go to LA also because I knew I needed to play more. You'll hear basketball people talk like, I can go shoot, 1,000 threes a day. I was a shooter as a big man. Yeah. But if you don't play and have to, feel a contest.
And LA, in the off season in LA, there are so many NBA guys, and
it's unreal. It's probably 75% of the NBA.
And they and they get great runs in 2 places: UCLA Men's Gym and the Jackson Center.
Yep.
There are 2 places, and if you know those are going on, who are the guys you will see, it's an all-star roster every day, all day.
It's actually insane.
Sometimes you just rock up and you can play.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the league,
one thing I was going to say,
that's what I mean.
By the way, you couldn't. I couldn't.
I would dunk on someone.
But any
NBA players. So
NBA guys.
This is actually a cool connection. When Gunnar was talking about leaving the note and stuff, or expecting that you're going to be able to use the weight room on the road, it's sometimes there's bad blood or whatever, and there's but really it's a fraternity across the board
because everybody,
it's a small group of people.
Everybody's check comes from the same place.
Exactly.
You're getting paid by the league, and here's what I used to tell the guys: don't forget, the guy you're shunning could be traded here tomorrow.
Yeah,
literally.
So
don't turn on him. Make them welcome. And the strength coach who you're pissing off could get hired to replace you.
No question.
Be careful. Everybody play nice in the sandbox, fellas.
So, of course, there's competitiveness and whatever, but there's a mutual respect. So the reason I bring this up is because you asked about pickup runs in LA. It's like, the time, the day, where it's at, and when you show up. Like, there was, at UCLA, for example, there's 3 courts. There's 10 people on the court, obviously. There's 30 NBA guys playing at all times. And there's a winner's court in the center. If you win, you stay. And then they kind of, break teams down and so on and so forth. The point is I needed to play more and garner more experience. I could always do well in an individual workout, but that's not going to do anything for me while I'm playing. I could dunk and fly kind of for when I was younger for a 7-foot white guy. I could shoot the lights out from 3, but I had to learn how to.
Do you identify as a white guy?
I do, yeah.
Okay, because I don't see that when I see you.
Nice.
We should have hit that at the top. Sorry, Myers.
That's okay. I'm glad we got that out of the way now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also think about that. The guys you're playing against on those courts are the guys you're going to see all season.
True.
So you're getting experience, not just honing your own game, but watching what they do. You're learning tendencies. You're picking up stuff.
True.
And then you get sent somewhere, and that's your teammate, and I can help his game, which will help my game because I know what he does because we ran together in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's 30 NBA starters. KD, Kyrie, LeBron, like all the way down the list. It's pretty crazy, really.
I got to say, though, as a foreigner on set, it's such a unique aspect. I love this about American sports. Like, I'm so pro-American sports. You go through the collegiate system, so you play with each other, against each other all the time.
And AAU system. They go through AAU.
It's so cool, right? And you just alluded to, like, you could be traded literally tomorrow.
Shout out David and Dana Pump.
The people you're playing with today. And I don't know if that exists other places. Like, I was lucky enough to play rugby. I hated the people I was playing against because I knew that was my team that I was with the whole time. So like, how do you go about that? How do you compete with absolutely everything you got? Because you're obviously driven. You're seeking out like experts in the field for you at already an amazing point of your career to be better. What are you waking up to compete against someone that you would die for the day before?
Ooh, wow, what a question. Honestly, well, I guess every player, every person has their why, or what, why do I wake up? Why am I so driven? What am I trying to do in my life? What's the goal? I guess from a young age, it was just hard. I mean, my dad died when I was 6. We were dirt poor. My mom was struggling. Fast forward a few years, my brother goes off to the Marine Corps. Now I'm distraught. Like, I'm the only one left in the household. I feel like, okay, how do I help support my family? How do I take care of my family? What am I going to do? My freshman year of high school, I played 0 minutes of varsity basketball. 0. I sat the bench the whole season.
Same.
But then all of a sudden, but in my freshman year, this guy is
He's like in a touching moment.
No, it's okay.
Sorry, Gunnar
it's
has
okay.
no sensitivity.
My freshman year, though, I didn't know this because we always tried to buy clothes that were a little bigger than what I was at the time because we didn't have any money. I grew 9 inches in 12 months my freshman year of high school. And then I went from virtually unknown to everybody besides Duke and maybe one other at the time. It was like hundreds of pieces of mail a day in recruiting. Wow. So I was like, whoa, holy smokes. Okay, then now this is a real thing. So I used to play baseball, all these different sports, and now it's only basketball. And I guess I just have this internal drive inside of me that all of us sitting here have. There's plenty of people that do. And it's just like, I don't know. I was never going to fail. There was no way. But that comes with a lot of sacrifice.
Because it's part of you, or because you never had a choice to fail?
No question. And that comes with so much sacrifice, though. For example, when you're in high school, it'd be normal to start wanting to party, maybe, drink some beers, sneak a beer, start chasing girls, whatever. I was locked in. I knew that I had to get a scholarship, or else how else am I going to go to college? Yeah. And I sure as hell wasn't going to lose my scholarship by getting, a picture taken of me drinking a beer or something. All of a sudden, all these
fucking
things happen. Exactly.
No way. Yep.
But then, interestingly enough, I become a super highly recruited, top 25 player in the nation, but really thin. Had never played Big Ten basketball, obviously. We had a couple of senior bigs that were really, really good college basketball players. I played my freshman year of college in 2000. Well, I graduated high school in 2010, so 2010, 11. I played 8 minutes, averaged 2 points and a rebound. Then I met my wife. I'll get into this in a second, but I was so embarrassed. My whole postseason review in front of my coach, Coach Weber, who I still love to this day, I cried for an entire hour. Now, I'm a big teddy bear. Like, I'm emotional. I need positive affirmation. I need all that. And he told me, Meyers, I believe in you and all these different things. You're going to work as hard as you ever have, and you're going to be fine next year. A year later, I was in the NBA. But that's because it was only, how do I impress Ellie, and how do I get better and win basketball games, and hopefully one day maybe go to the NBA. And literally a year later, I was in the NBA. So I don't know. I've always just had this drive deep inside of me, like, don't you give up. Yeah. Or, whatever obstacle's in the way, I'm going to find a way to either go straight through it or around it. Because, when life gets hard, it's like you can either fold and fail or like figure it out.
But what sustained your belief, though? Because I think there's a lot of people that see something in front of them, whatever that may be, and have this maybe a sense of drive, like, I need to, but they discredit their ability to do it.
Ooh.
And so I don't know. I'm not hearing that in your story. It's like, what was that?
The driving force?
Was it belief? Was it need? Was it something else?
Maybe like D, all the above. So truthfully, in college, I wanted to impress Ellie. She said no to her best friend. She would admit this, maid of honor in our wedding. There's no way in hell I'll ever date him. I'm like, okay, you just watch.
Listen, women now, are very motivating creatures. Yeah.
So
yes,
I wanted to impress Ellie. I don't know. Also being able to lean on people that I love, because inevitably in life, like, you're going to have times that are really difficult, but if you have people that bring you up and constantly support you, then it's also easier.
Yeah, because you're like, wherever this goes, I'm loved, I'm cared about. And it's not about having a soft landing, but you know you're not going to be alone when you get there. Yeah,
I guess also there's this thing we talk about in sports, and there's in music and all these different things. Like, you have this it factor. It's hard to explain, but I just felt like I was born to do it, I guess. Yeah. Obviously the height helps, but I was just not going to fail because people, I'll ask an honest question, everybody answer one at a time. We all know a lot of people. How many people in your life, or that you know well, or just people in general, do you think actually work really, really hard? What percentage? I'm talking like, if I don't succeed at this, I'm not going to make it.
I think there's a generational arc happening here, but I would say probably less than 10%.
Okay.
The older you are, the harder you've worked. Period.
I would put it at less than 10%. I would put it at about 1%.
Come on, even think about your father's generation. Think about your pops. Think about everybody ahead of you. The entire world.
I'll tell you why I've got a caveat on it. Okay. I don't think people realize how close success is.
Bingo.
Genuinely don't. I'm stealing this from Tony Robbins.
Oh, that's
success
so
is not a load of 50% away. It's 2% away. Like, if you just work hard, and I'm fascinated by your story. I'm even more fascinated what we're going to get into about the correlation of sports and skill and manifestation, what you were talking about. And then, like, it was never a chance not to fail. Like, for Gunnar Peterson was never going to be not going to be Gunnar Peterson. Jen Widerstrom was never going to be not Jen Widerstrom. Like, there is this power in manifestation and this, like, innate ability to focus on where you're going. And I love the correlation between sports and business, or sports and country music, and sports and just this mental attitude and toughness, which actually gives you the confidence to just go that extra 2%. It's not that far away. Like, and I will say this to trainers that are listening, or business people that are listening, or whoever is listening. This isn't an entire new skill set. It's just doing a couple of things a little bit better. You know?
So true.
You just touched on, did you say fail? Like, is that Churchill? Failure is not an option. Like, that was one. I want to say it is.
Churchill is one of those.
But but there's another one. So if you go with failure is not an option, right? There's another one. It's like plan B is don't fuck up plan A, right? And then you go the Goggins route where he says something, and I'm paraphrasing him. So when people think they're done, at least physically, I think is what he's talking about, they're at 40%.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, whoa. But you have to hear that from him and go, maybe. Like,
yeah, but I think it comes down to, I mean, so much of what I see is a mindset that is like, okay, Meyers, so lucky. He's so lucky. He got to go to the NBA, and now he's a country music star. You're so lucky.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's
right?
or he's in the NBA because he's 7 feet tall.
Or
like,
he was born taller. No. Like, what are the qualities he possesses that every other successful person that possesses, that pursue their dreams and their heart, that are doing? It's like these are like attributes.
Wait,
of you.
let me hit you with a curveball. So Meyers, since leaving the NBA during the pandemic, taught himself the guitar.
True.
Writes songs.
Wait, that's a new thing?
Hang on. Stand by.
Wait. There's steam coming out of Luke's here. Yeah.
Oh, there is.
Writes music, has sought out country music writes, musicians, performers, has been so driven in this, he now has songs that play on the radio. One played in our gym the other day. My kids sing it on the way to their practices. The other day, Zane said, Dad, can we play this in the car? He has a song called Good and Goodbye.
I love it.
Right? Hang on. So what I would say is, that got him all those attributes you listed is why he's in the NBA. Sure. Easy. How did he get where he is with the music thing? It's Meyers. It's not the little things about him. It's the things that make him up as a person, that put that drive in him. he will not be denied.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
right?
saying. Most people are sitting here thinking, well, he's lucky, so he's got this life. I'm not lucky, so I can't have these things. When it's like, no, it's who he is. I'm talking about in third person. It's
How
who
hard
you are to take the work ethic, to take the initiatives, and to take those daily actions, those 2% better, what Luke said, to make yourself a step
So
further.
I would say this: at 7 feet, easier to dunk a basketball. But with his big giant ass hands, isn't it harder to play guitar because the strings are the same distance apart for everybody?
Yeah.
So that's harder, and he's overcome that. I don't know. I look at it and just go, it's work. I give the credit where the credit's due.
This is kind of going the way it is. So I'll say this: the basketball game you were talking about. Previous to that, I went to 2 of Zane and Owen and Lil Jack and all their teammates' practices. Let me tell you something. That hour and a half, however many minutes or however much time I had with them, almost meant more to me than the 30-point game I had against the Warriors in the West Conference Finals, or like getting drafted on draft night, because I'd love to inspire. But one of the things I said to them is there's only 2 ingredients, in my opinion, and there's a third kind of asterisk one, that matter in life the most. Are you a good person, yes or no? Because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass if you're not.
Yeah.
And do you work effing hard? And I've given advice to plenty of people. We all have. But there's like 8 to 10 who have really come to me. I'm like, all right, are you willing to put the work in, yes or no? Well, here's the 2 things you have to do regardless. And then the third is if you have an elite skill, that's when you can become the top of the top. But it's never not been an option. People seem like, why in the hell are you singing country music? I was like, I don't know. I like to storytell. I used to love to get on the mic and talk about my life, talk about losing my dad, or talk about working hard. All these simple things that, like you were saying before, maybe we went live. Well, how do we connect with the people that are watching this podcast? Sometimes I feel like people think we're untouchable, but we're not. We love to give information and to inspire other people. And like Luke was saying, everyone is actually not that far off. It's just a few things sometimes. But regardless, this is what I told the kids. And I asked Owen and Zane and Jack all the time, because they're always at the Petersons. Hey, do you guys remember what I told you? Like, oh yeah, just be a good person and work hard, Mr. Myers. And I'm like, that's right. And you watch how far that'll take
Myers.
you. Oh yeah. But it's just, I don't know. To me, it's not that complicated.
No, it's really not.
It just really doesn't feel that complicated to me. Sure, 7 foot helped me play basketball, but all the other things, I can remember so many times where just simple discipline equals freedom. Financial discipline equals financial freedom later on.
But a lot of what I face, I think, in my own field is like people like to complicate things as an excuse, as a barrier. I want to create space to the action, because then it prevents me from having to really take on that action, whether that's personal doubt or shame or just a fear of the unknown. The amount of people that won't go to a gym because they're like not sure. Like this, it's the way I won't go surfing. I'm like, I don't know protocol. I'm not getting in. I'm like, I don't know whose waves it is, So I don't go. But I'm like, it's the same exact feeling of people going to a gym. And so it's like that we create these obstacles to prevent ourselves from feeling that discomfort, which I can't imagine how comfortable that was to try to figure out the guitar. I can't imagine. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
But like,
I'm still in a weird way a little bit. He's like, would you pick up your damn guitar and start playing? We all want to hear it.
He'll play at the house. He'll play at the house when we're watching the game.
Yes.
Play.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Because I'm also a perfectionist, so it's like it's a really good thing and a really bad thing. Because I feel like if I'm not perfect at something, I need to practice more, and I can't dare show people to their face unless I'm nailing it. But honestly, there's been a lot of moments in my life and with basketball that I'll just say to Gunnar, like, man, I don't know. He's like, dude, snap out of it. What the hell? You are you, sir.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think you're as hard as yourself about that being a dad, or have you been more gentle with yourself?
Ooh.
And that's for everybody.
Great question.
All three dads here.
When Ellie and I started talking about having kids and everything, she's more, what's that?
Second date.
Probably from him.
Yeah, for sure.
She's like, can I just get a minute before we knock on that thing?
She's like, can you
She's coming, right? We did tell her she could come.
I hope so. Okay. Apparently there's still people working at the house because we're getting the baby room done. Baby's due May 8th, so we're under a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
He was locked in on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But we always thought she might be the disciplinary because Ellie's more like mama bear. And this is not a bad thing. It's just who we are. It's like you were saying earlier about Jess and Gunnar. Like they're yin and yang, you know, like that's the way it's supposed to be. If we're all the same, well, first of all, life would be boring. And wouldn't,
I wouldn't marry me. No.
But
Someone's going to want to, though.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. It's the truth.
3-1-0 for
But no, honestly, I'm more the disciplinary for my son. But I have a feeling if and when because next one's a boy, God bless Ellie. Myers and 2 mini me's. A lot to deal with, but if we have a girl, I feel like it's gonna be Ellie.
Not just discipline though, but like making choices as a father. Like, are you guys?
Yeah, don't count on that daughter thing. I got a daughter, right? So my daughter just turned 10 years old, and I had the same sort of opinion as you. I'm like, oh, my wife's name's Kerry. I'm like, Kerry will be the disciplinary. Like she'll be the one that's. And I've actually sort of found myself leaning into it just because I want her to live her life, and she's grown up very different to how I grew up.
Sure,
but I don't want to ever negate how appreciative I am for how I grew up.
Wait, so you mean your daughter, right?
Yeah.
Can you touch on this? Because I feel like I'm the same, and we can all maybe share a story. This is so important because I talk to people all the time about this.
Yeah.
My son's life is going to be so much different than mine was growing up. But please, like, there's, I don't know, intangibles that you're teaching them, like morals. Like, what is it to you that is so important?
Look, for me, it's exactly what you just said. Just like, repeating what you said, be a good person and seek out other good people because they actually exist. We don't have to settle for bad people ever. We don't have to settle for lack of integrity. We don't have to settle for a lack of ethics because there are enough people out there that are innately good that we can surround ourselves with and build a community of people that want to build us up and not break us down. And I just genuinely believe that that's out there. So why not explore it and why not like do the hard work to actually build that life? So why I love being a father so much is I genuinely believe that it's the first time in my life where I've actually loved something more than myself. And I don't want to sound like a narcissist in saying that. Look, if
self-love is the most important love anyway.
You've sent me videos.
I'll get into this. No, that's actually true.
No, it is true. I don't mean to do it. But look, here's the deal, right? I'm a red-blooded male. I grew up in Australia. I grew up in a working class family. My dad is like the most A-type man you have ever met in your life. He always did the right thing according to what a man should do.
Sure.
He was a provider. He was a protector. He's the toughest guy I've ever met in my life, right?
Awesome.
Now, you hold a gun to my head right now, and Kerry's standing there. I take that bullet because I'm supposed to. What's that, mate? I stand by my statement. And you hold a gun to my head now, and Kerry's there, and I take that bullet because that's what I'm supposed to do as a male. Okay, that's my responsibility.
Totally.
The difference in becoming a father is I want that bullet. I encourage that bullet.
There is no goosebumps for anybody wondering.
Question in my mind. That's not even a decision.
No.
I make a decision as a man for my wife.
Totally.
That it's not even a decision as a father.
I'm still over here like buzzing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Zane and I were talking about two things funny. When I pick him up from school every day, which is one of the things built into the schedule since we moved here, I pick up Zane and his friend Owen. And the first thing I say to them, because they always say, you don't say to your kid, how was school today? Because you're going to get fined or okay.
Yeah.
So we eliminate that nonsense. I always go, did you do something nice for someone today? Were you kind today? Because it makes them think. And we've gotten all the way down, like bottom of the barrel. I picked up someone's pencil. I'm like, bro. Okay. But it makes them think about doing something because I'm sure they get around to 2 o'clock and they're like.
He goes, oh gosh, Dad's going to ask me.
I was going to say, it's ingrained now.
It is a good thing.
Like, wait a minute, I got to make sure I do something for somebody else.
Right. So yesterday we were talking about kidnapping. And I was explaining to them that there are bad people in the world. I do this screaming drill with them when they get out of the shower. I put the towel, as I'm drying them, I put the towel over their mouth and I make them scream at the top of their lungs because so many people are taught to scream and they scream, look in your vocal thing, they scream from here. They don't scream from here and they don't let it out. And the first thing the kidnapper is going to say is don't make any noise. And I let them let it rip.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. It's so fun to hear them.
20-year-old Myers would have just let out the biggest yell in the history of the world. But that's just save all you guys' ears.
So do it with Liam. It's super funny. So he was talking about, to your point, he said, what would you do? how would you get me back? And I said, I would get you. I know people, and you and I know who I know.
100%. Let's see whose call he picks up.
There's a short list, but a list that more than what most people
You
have.
know who I would call. And he would get them back. And I said, he goes, do you think you could get me? Yes, yes, yes. Then he goes, what would you do? And I said, I would come get you. And he goes, what if they had a gun or whatever thing? And I just said, dude, I'm walking through that to get you. And he goes, would you let them shoot you to get me free?
God, these are really big questions.
But you started this. And I looked at him and I said, there's no question.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was just funny to have my old man eyes looking into his 9-year-old eyes. And he looked, and we're standing outside the car. We just got home. And he turned and he leaned back into me. And that's always his safe space. Whenever we go somewhere and I can feel him being uncomfortable, he backs up into me and I just put my arms around him. And he did it yesterday right when I said that. I'm going to start crying. Yeah. And it was so funny because he was like, you could feel he felt safe. And I think as a father, your job is to make them feel safe.
It's the only job. Right.
Make them feel loved, make them feel safe.
I mean...
You just want to talk basketball, didn't you?
No, hell no. I'd rather talk about life just like we are.
Yeah.
I don't know, just to...
I might need another cocktail.
Just to like, I don't know, expand on it or keep... Man, I always ask, because again, losing my dad at 6 years old was, I don't know, I was on a different podcast like a couple months ago and they asked me, what do you think like made you who you are? And I said, this is going to sound really weird, but maybe losing my dad. And they kind of looked at me like, then I explained and they were like, oh, that makes sense because, trauma can also do a lot of things, good or bad.
Man.
And I thankfully had the right people in my life and in my heart just chose the right path and just worked as hard as I could. But I always asked male mentors, like, what's it feel like when you have a kid? They're like, dude, I don't even know what to say. Like, I love that you can't even imagine, but when it happens, you'll know.
Yeah.
You guys know this. Of course I was there in the delivery. When I saw Liam come out, I actually felt, the doctor said, Myers, whatever you do, don't drop Ellie's leg.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we're getting a little graphic here.
Yeah.
As soon as he took his first breath and started, I just fell to my knees. And it was like the most beautiful rush of love that I have ever felt. And I would die for Ellie this instant. But there's something different about bringing a child into this world. So
did you at least put her leg on your head while you took a knee? Like, did you drop your job? It's fascinating because as a woman, all three of you are all parents, and I am not a mother. And I think there's a different pressure for women, and just because our biology is different,
totally,
we just have a different time. Mm-hmm. But the irony is everyone's like, oh, you'll know. And I'm like, I still haven't been given the memo. I don't have this.
There is none.
Sorry, expand. When you say you know
on
the
being
right
a mother.
person.
Oh, sorry. My friend Lauren was like, I've always known I wanted to be a mom. Everyone's like, of course. And for me, I've never had that injection of feeling around the topic.
The greatest form of birth control is spending time with other people's kids.
You said it. You said it.
Telling you.
Listen, and I love. I mean, all the kids in my life,
Mr.
I
Wisdom.
love them. No, he's not wrong. But what I do
like,
see
oh
is children change a lot for everybody in these beautiful ways, but in all kinds of other ways. And
totally.
It's not that I'm worried about what will happen to my body or anything. It's like there's. And I don't think I'm going to be a bad mom, but there's this really random, obscure book called The Prophet. Have you guys heard of this?
I've definitely
it looks like Edgar Allan Poe on the front with a mustache. It's such a random thing. The book might be 50 pages long, and each chapter is a paragraph or two. It's very small. But I had a long conversation with my dad about it. This chapter about basically becoming a parent, because the way it was described is if you look at our creator as the archer and pulling back a bow, that's you as a parent, and the arrow is your child. Okay? And so the moment you become a parent, you stop being the arrow. You become the bow. You become the support. You become the aim. And so part of me, I just thought, well, maybe I'm just not done being the arrow. Maybe that's why I haven't had that feeling yet. And the other side of it too is like, I also don't feel like it's a decision I can make on my own. It would depend on what the man that becomes that partner for me. Like, is this something that we want to do? It's not my decision, it's our decision. And like where we are in our life. So that, but I those concepts are kind of where my oceans meet of what it feels like. And so part of me sits here in envy, listening to you as like parents and like, the thought of like the Zane, like, you know, Zane's one of the smartest, interesting little guys I've ever met. A lie detector, like you guys are twins, Gunnar, like, you know that.
Poor bastard.
But that visual of him leaning into you, like, makes me like,
great moment.
oh man, am I gonna have
and it was yesterday. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So amazing.
So anyway, I don't know.
Those with, like, I have older kids too, right? My brother calls them the first litter. But I have the older kids, and I have moments going all the way back with them.
Oh, let her rip. Leave it right there. As
they grew up. And now I get those conversations. I had a conversation with my oldest yesterday, and he got...
Henry?
Yeah, and Henry got him... he got... Something happened to him at work, and he's like, I was irked. I felt this. And I like... Literally, I'm talking to him like I'm talking to a buddy. And I had to check myself and go, dude, that's your son. Yeah. Don't tell him that.
But why'd you have to check yourself though?
Yeah. Because
he's at an age now where...
No, for sure. And he makes all his own decisions, and he's I would definitely say he's wise beyond his ears, and he's smart, and he's very measured in his approaches to things. But I don't like to give it. I don't give advice on purpose. I try to listen and let the person work it out for themselves. And that's probably a transfer from training.
For sure,
like,
from training.
I always, when trainers go, I'm half therapist, I'm like, you're a half-ass therapist. You're not trained.
They'll work it out.
But you're not trained to be a therapist.
No.
Exactly. So stop doing that, and don't give advice. You don't know all the other factors in what that person's telling you. And the other side, forget the factors, the other side of whatever they're sharing with you, there's somebody on the other end of that. When you get into like relationship advice, shut up, let them finish their set and air it out. And they're going to come back and tell you whatever they did. And that's not your business. It's not your place. And it's not your skill set, frankly. Whether you think you're really smart and rational, I think that's a bad move by trainers. But anyway, so I'm listening to my son. So I checked myself because I don't want to say to him, yeah, bro, quit or fire back this full send. I don't want to tell him that. I want to let him. And just having him talk it through, he was so rational and so smart with how he was handling it. And it wasn't how I would have handled it at his age.
Interesting.
And well, so mate, I'm like, the job, and I told them this once, I can remember tucking him and his brother Jack in when they were little. Their job is to be better than I am. Yeah. And Jack looked at me and goes, I could never be better than you. And he was like 5. And I go, aww, dude, you will be so much better than I am. You have, to your point about how the upbringing he's going to have all the ingredients.
More access.
Plus you in his ear from day one. They will be better. That's the job. I look at how my daughter Sloan is in school now. She's crushing the game in school. She's already better than I am.
What year is she now?
She's a junior at Duke, and she is crushing it. I look at my littlest one, to touch on all of them. My 5-year-old, she's like at 5, she does things and sees things and handles herself, and I'm like, damn, like good on her mom and me for how we've brought her through this.
Yeah, all your kids are special, buddy.
Yeah, but everybody's kids are. If you look for those special things, you'll find them in all. And I think, take that to what you said, there are a lot of good people in the world. Yeah. I get so tired of people.
Yeah, I love what you said, Luke.
Yeah, they're bad people. There are a lot of, to my point, the conversation with Zane, like there are a lot of creepy people out there, but there are also a lot of really good people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really good people.
I would like to say quickly, sorry, we can pivot and do whatever, but I will say, I don't think Ellie would mind me saying something.
Okay.
When we first, I mean, this is like, post-college, I don't know, say I wasn't, let's see, I went to the NBA at 20. So say it's like 22 years old.
Okay.
We didn't have kids until 31. She was kind of nervous at first because Ellie is a very strong, independent, driven, smart, like woman. And like, again, I swear it's like God or life. I don't know. It's just like all the right people have been placed in my life. And it's just crazy. I'm so freaking thankful. But she was a little nervous at first. She thought she'd be the disciplinarian. I'd be on the road playing basketball and I'd get to come home and just spoil the kids or whatever. To see her as a mom is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And that's the first thing all of my friends and closest family, et cetera, say about Ellie. because she's always been an amazing woman. She always will be. Smart, again, driven, all these things. But to see her as a mom, forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think maybe you'll feel it. I don't know, but it's beautiful. It really is.
I say this about Jess, about my wife. I tell her she's the most natural mom. Like, it just seems like what she does and how she does it. It's just smooth and easy. Like, I go, how did you know to have the snack ready and the shit cut this way?
Do you remember how you described Jess to me? The boat race?
Yeah. What'd I say? I stand by it, whatever it is.
It's a beautiful story. I want you to tell it. It's a really infamous race with 2 rowing teams. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. No, it's America's Cup.
Yep.
And the Queen of England had someone obviously watching the race. I think it was the second time. It was the first time. You got to look at historically. I don't want to get that wrong. And she said, who's winning? And her person with the binoculars or whatever he was looking through said, the Americans are winning. And she said, who's in second place? And the guy looked, and the Americans were crushing that race. And he said, there is no second place. And to me, that's how Jess was.
That's how, I know.
I just got hit with full body
That's
goosebumps.
actually really nice. See this side?
See?
Hey, replay.
Yeah.
He's just
No, it's true.
on the nice
There's no
part
second
of it.
place.
No, I know.
question.
I remember when they were
That's actually
dating.
very sweet.
They were dating, and I actually have a picture. It was one of your fight nights, and you had that terrible yellow jacket, your fight night jacket.
I still have that. I rocked that for fight, and that's a fight night jacket.
You're like, excuse me, it's still.
And just to be clear, this is not a family fight. This is like Gunnar hosting a professional
like
fight at
UFC
his
fights
house.
or a boxing match.
Yes, it was a boxing match or a UFC match, and so I'd come by. I was going from one part to the next, and you dropped it. And I remember I met her, and that's the way you were describing her to me, and I was like, "This is a."
But still, to this day, there's nobody that. Yeah. But she's such a natural mom. She just fit that role, and I'm like, how did she know to do that? And I would give credit, obviously, her mom, but also her older sisters. Like, they're just natural moms.
Yeah.
If you watch them with their kids and with our kids, when our daughter got sick, her sisters were like this. They couldn't be here fast enough, and they rolled in, and they have their own lives and their own jobs, and they were here, staying at the house, sleeping in the hospital. They were sleeping in the hospital to the point where Zane and I were at home, and we're like, can we come by? Like, you guys seem like it's super fun over there at the hospital. It was that. They're phenomenal like that. But
Absolutely.
Speaking of natural, do you want to tap into any of what's on your sheet? You had
my question to so natural. That's a great segue.
Yeah.
Your transition, not.
Oh my God. Let me take a drink.
I wish the cameras got turned around because that's pure shock. He's like, there's no way he said that.
From basketball to, and there must have been lag time, but I don't know, it all blurs.
Totally.
Right. But you're from basketball to country music is so smooth. And I'm sure you look back at it's like they say, well, it's not an overnight success.
Definitely not.
The guy's been doing X, Y, Z for whatever field, right? You're like that actor. You go, who's that guy? Oh, I've never heard of him. He's an overnight success. You're like, that guy's been taking classes and doing bit parts and auditioning, whatever.
Totally.
So I look at yours and I go, it's so seamless, so natural, and it's so complete. Does having the song out put a bow on it? Is it like, now I'm done? Is the other one ever done? I don't mean like, are you having plenty of comeback, Mark? No, I'm saying like, to me, basketball will always be a part of your life. Yeah. And I see some people that leave the league and you're like, he doesn't ever seem like he played. Doesn't seem like he cares about it. Doesn't watch it. Doesn't this. But when you and I talk about it, like, you keep up with it, maybe at arm's length, but you still know, and I know you have friends still in the league, and But did that happen? Was that planned, and did you execute a plan to the letter, or did it just sort of flow naturally and evolve?
Man, it's just my life. It just flowed naturally, and it wouldn't seem like it probably from afar. No,
but was it always when I'm done playing, I'm going to become a country music singer?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Great.
No,
yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Eventually, I will be a coach. That's all I want. Like, again, Zane's practice, you saw me.
Yeah, no, I saw.
Dude, I'm literally screaming at the top of my lungs for an hour in a positive way.
You may not be able to be. No.
You did get kicked off at one set of bleachers. You sat
it
down,
was
they
close.
moved you. I was like, uh-oh.
But no, honestly, it just
At what level, coach? You want to coach in the pros?
high school probably.
High school, okay.
Because college coaches have to recruit, and obviously they got the games and practices and whatnot. And then NBA coaches, as you know, are almost more busy than the players. Film, scout, flights here, there, and everywhere.
Don't you think high school kids care more too?
Well,
it's like a golden time.
Yeah.
Kids are
Well, you
so
can probably be more
absorbing.
influential on their
That's
career,
the most
right?
important thing to me.
I appreciate when bags are designed and made for people who actually move. Introducing the Easy Access Ranchero Backpack. It's the latest in Yeti's lineup of tough-as-nails bags. This thing was made for people who actually move with a rip zip opening that tears wide open so you can grab what you need fast. And because someone at Yeti has clearly lived through the I can't reach my charger struggle, they added a vertical zipper so you can reach the bottom of the bag without unloading your entire life. It's perfect for workouts, work days, whatever mess of a routine you've got running. Inside, it's all smart compartments, so your laptop stays clean, your shoes stay contained, and your brain doesn't melt trying to find things. Oh, and yeah, it's made with tough skin nylon, so your stuff stays dry even when your life is anything but. Check it out at Yeti.com or stop by a Yeti store near you. Get in, get out, get going.
Honestly, I just had different male mentors, role models, coaches, etc., all throughout my life. Actually, my first coach that I love dearly, his name's Mitch Hannes. He, everybody in town, of course, knew that my dad was gone and that my family needed help and all these different things. And I swear, it's just like all the right people, like I said earlier, have just been placed in my life, man. It's crazy. And so Mitch Hannes on to the high school athletic trainer at my high school, still super close with him, Scott Rawlings. He literally, when I tell you I grew 9 inches in 12 months, I had no idea. I'm telling you, I really did not. Now, I had excruciating.
I was going to say, you're Osgood's?
Excruciatingly bad foot, knee, and low back pain. Of course, literally all the parts of my body were growing so fast. But I didn't know. I thought it was from lifting weights because, like I said, I was really thin. So I thought I was just all beat up.
There's three of us here who can tell you it wasn't that.
I literally stood up against the wall and he goes, Mars, you're 6'10". I was 6'1" going into my freshman year. And I was like, bullshit, no, I'm not. And I was like, oops, sorry. Because I thought he was going to punch me for saying shit at the time. He's like, no, I'm serious. He's like, turn around, go ahead, look. And so that's when everything changed. But the point is
How
like
about a body?
the mentors and stuff. Like my high school coach, we won a state championship. Like me and my boys, we were lucky for a 2A school out of 4A to have an athletic group. We won a state championship. Like that was our only goal all the way through, and we did that. But just in terms of making this, transition into music, I honestly had no idea. I swear. I couldn't play guitar. I had no rhythm. I never sang. I still rarely sing in front of Ellie. I swear.
So where did the romance start?
With Ellie?
With music.
Oh, well, I've always loved country music.
That was so genuine. I love it.
So I've always loved country music, and I've always loved storytelling. So similar to like wanting to just coach Zane's team versus playing the NBA, it seems silly, but it's real. I almost loved doing community events more in the NBA and impacting in Portland, 7 out of 7 years, Children's Cancer Association and all these different things. Like to see, I'm talking families bawling because there was no shot they were going to have any gifts under the tree. And Ellie and I, thankfully, have done well, and we're able to give. And just to see the look on these people, like, and they would let their kids like walk down the aisle and turn to us and just lose it. When I tell you that feels better than any 3-point shot or dunk that I've ever had in my life, it doesn't even remotely come close.
Yeah.
So
it's real impact.
So the story stuff, I'm actually not a English or writing. I'm not a great writer, but I've learned to write music because I've been fortunate to connect with the right people, the right writers here in Nashville, and say like, honestly, the first song I wanted to write was about losing my dad. So we wrote that when all of a sudden we had this connection in the room. Was
it something you wanted to just get out? Was it
yes, it's almost like therapy for me.
Okay. Did you start journaling or did you say, can you help me find word? Like,
it was more like I was lucky to meet a couple of these writers, Steve Thomas and Caleb Mills. Those are my boys. Shout outs to those guys for sure. We've written 23 songs now. I mean, it's been unbelievable. We've been on a roll. But I can just explain emotionally how I feel in different instances. And we take bits and pieces of that, make it universal enough to where the average person listening can relate, rather than me say like, I grew up on 606 North Jackson Street and here's my dad's name. Like, you make it more broad to where if you're singing something emotional, people are like, whoa, I'm like moved by this song. So honestly, I don't know. It's just like my life falls into place, man. It's so weird.
You did find another team that you would like die for. You know what I mean? Like those guys that's your writing team now. Like there is something.
No question.
What did you say earlier today, Gunnar? I don't know if we were recording or not, but like, why do things by yourself? You don't want to do anything by yourself. You want to do it on a team.
That's how this all came together.
That's him though.
Correct.
I tell everybody, you guys are you and your wife Jess are amazing. They're the best hosts we've ever been around. Ellie and I have been fortunate to travel the world and do this, that, and the other. They always connect us with the best people. They always put on the best parties. Like, it's freaking unbelievable.
But I look at it, and I said this to Jess, actually, when we were dating, and I wanted to like take it up a notch and make it more formal. I said, I feel like I have a great life, and I'm lucky, and I'm blessed. Let me quote your tattoos: "Blessed forever."
Yeah, baby.
And I said, like, I have a lot of high highs, not a lot of low lows, not a lot of lows anyway. But I want to share it with somebody. I think my mom worried initially about,
huge,
like, you don't like being alone, and I'm like, I've been alone. I've done it. It's fine. I like being alone. Fine. There are times, and that can just be the drive to work. I like being with people.
That's what
I like.
Sorry to interrupt. Ellie says the same thing about me, and I think that's why we get along so well.
I just like being with people, but by doing everything. My college roommate and I, we used to run my errands together, and then we'd run his errands together. Yeah. And it was probably the worst use of time that two kids in an academically demanding.
That's funny coming from you.
Seriously.
You were to the minute scheduled in your fucking day.
Yeah, but I would schedule, we'd run our errands. And it was like going to the pet store, buy more fish food. And it was, I'll pick up.
Wait. What fish did you guys have in that apartment?
I had massive fish tanks. I had a 70-gallon tank. I mean, I don't know. It was, we had fish tanks and I had piranhas and all kinds.
Like
we had fun.
Only Sharks. The best.
We had fun. We had fun stuff.
But then it would be, all the big ones.
Then we go, he'd say, hey, Peterson, I got to pick up my sweater at the dry cleaner for tonight. Okay, drive over to, and just because we were together, it was fun.
Totally.
And I know I used to drive with him down to pay my power bill in Durham. My dad goes, you should be mailing that. It's a terrible use of your time. And I go, yeah, but Brady and I did it together. It was more fun. And that's just what we did.
Yeah.
And so I said to my wife when we were dating, hey, I have this great ride in life. I just want to share it with somebody. Yes. I want you to do it with me. And I still tell her that to this day. I just want to do stuff together. And she's way more independent than I am. She's like, okay, cute, needy husband alert. I have stuff to do.
That's Ellie too.
And she will ice me in 2 seconds. And it's not that I'm a puppy dog about it. I just want to share it. I want to tell you what I'm doing, who I'm meeting. My life is so rich. And I want to come home and say, I met this person. I learned this today. I saw this. I did this.
But
it's cool to have you around.
You have something on the tip of your tongue.
I think that you've actually tied this entire last hour or so together, right? And it's having this abundance mindset instead of a scarcity mindset. You have an abundance of knowledge, of joy, of whatever, and you want to share it with other people. The same way you were talking before, Meyers, about like there was never an option that you weren't going to go and do something. You had this abundance mentality, this lifestyle and choice that you do it. But I really want to try and tie in this like sort of professionalism and like the transition from sports and human connection and being a part of a team, being a part of a community. And Brady, your best mate when you were a kid, you just wanted to share it with, because I think that's all team sports is. Like you just want to not let down your best mate, right? Like no matter where you go. Like now we've got some similarities. I used to play professional sports too, rugby, and the other similarity is the remuneration. That was a joke.
I was like,
my career earnings in rugby was
remuneration. Remuneration
that's just pay.
means.
But like I think my career earnings in rugby was a can of Coke and a hot dog. But
I'll jump on that one with you. I actually didn't know either.
we were quiet over here. I was like,
so everyone thinks rugby players aren't that smart. I learned that. I learned that on my word of the day on the way here. But but there is more to it. There's that team aspect. There's that wanting to share whatever you've got. And it was always at the start. It was even growing up. It was like whoever had money paid for dinner.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's just what it was. No one cared who was rich, poor, or otherwise. And I actually just think that that's actually what brings us all together as a community. Like all individuals, all doing kind of different things. Mm-hmm. But then the transition into country music, what part and what drive of your sporting career, and even before that, all of your career, like your success in a relationship. What, number one, has stopped you from falling back into old habits of like, hey, I'm just going to go back and play in the NBA? Because I'm sure that was a part of it. Yeah. And then what has kept you disciplined enough to go and do music? And just before you even answer that, because that was a big thing for me, because I think you touched on it already.
I think you should answer it too. Like, why did you not keep playing, and why did you go into training? I fell in love with a girl, surprise. Women are motivating.
No question.
No, the surprise was it was a girl and not a guy. I was looking at Gunnar.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But it was...
You made this guy laugh.
No, but like, look, I fell in love and I retired. I retired when I was 27. All I'd wanted to do since I was about 8 or 9 years of age was play professional rugby. Yeah. I don't know whether I loved rugby that much or I was trying to impress my dad or be a tough guy, all those sorts of things, right? And we can break that down in another 17-hour podcast. But when I fell in love, I left Australia. So I moved to New York and I left the sport. So I kind of took out the temptation to fall back. You're still here. You've still got offers. You're the 1%. Like, you go 30 minutes away and you're playing back in the NBA. What's keeping you in country music when it's right there?
You know what's so interesting that you just said, like, maybe it actually wasn't rugby. Yeah, 7 feet helped, but maybe it actually wasn't basketball. Yeah. Ellie was a big piece of it. Liam, you think I want to get on a plane and leave my wife and my 100%. Son and soon to be second son? No way. Now, we all know sitting here, money makes the world go round, got to have it, whatever. Thankfully,
knock it.
I'm doing okay. Yeah. But honestly, I always just have wanted to be damn good at whatever I'm doing. I want to be a damn good dad. Yeah. I wanted to be a damn good basketball player. I wanted to be damn good because I wanted to impress my family and friends back home. I want to be damn good because I want to win Ellie over in college. I want to be a damn good dad because I didn't have one. And because I want my son to grow up, not say, oh, my dad was in it. My son came to one game when I played with the Bucks in 23. He's not going to know that. He'll see a picture. But I want him to say, my dad's a cool guy. My dad loves me. Not my dad played in the NBA and made a bunch of money.
You want him to say, my dad's a good guy and he works hard, right?
Bingo. You nailed it. And so with music, I'm telling you, I had never played an instrument, never was in choir, none of that.
That's insane.
But I wanted to tell my story, and I was like, all right, if I'm going for it, I'm going all in. So thankfully, like kind of like we're saying, the resources are just being able to connect with people. I also believe that you connect with the right people if you're living life the right way and you're a good person.
Well, listen, I think that if you're on track, the universe supports it.
100%.
I will say
Karma is a real thing.
Listen, guys, you're talking to a girl that auditioned for a school play in 6th grade, and I used Madonna's "Open Your Heart to Me." You guys can play this on your own time. I did not get the part. Right?
Is there a video of that?
Thank goodness, no. I told John that story the other day that I was like, that's what I was doing. And I probably should have picked like a Pearl Jam song, something more my octave. But the point is like the universe did not support that for me because that was what was not in
Or
line.
you just sucked.
No, correct. Correct.
There's the real Gunnar.
That's how bad I was.
Now the dad and husband has exited the building.
I was like, let's just shut it down because that's not what she's supposed to be doing. But like, here's the thing: you picked it up, you tried, you went for it, and by the way, like I do think that you cannot overlook what you talked about with those two men who are your writing partners who helped you kind of step into that space of writing and step into that space of music and kind of create that like lyrical literacy for yourself of like, how do I form these words? How do I form these feelings into to have that a shape that makes sense in a song with stanzas, you know what I mean? So it's cool. It's like,
they would tell you if they were sitting here, like I was so nervous in front of them.
Yeah, of course.
Meanwhile, they're kind of feeling the same thing because they're like, wait, this is kind of cool. I'm writing with a former NBA player who wants to get into country music, whatever. And they even say now, like they giggle about it. They didn't say it the first couple of times. We're like, friends will be like, wait, you're writing with Meyers? That's dope. Like the first couple of songs he's put out are cool, like good songs. So we've just sat down and we've talked about heartache and happy times and drinking beer, like all the things. I plan on.
You were literally just talking first, like hanging out, shooting the shit.
In a bar, at Red Door.
Yeah.
And Steve, he's got a low voice like mine. Caleb, great. Both are great lyricists, great guitar players. And he was like, do you write music? And I was like, well, kind of. He's like, what do you mean, kind of? It's kind of like what Gunnar does to me. He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
He's like, we should write. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down. And then we clicked. And it was just all these different avenues of hitting on like all the things in life.
Did you say yes without thinking about what yes meant? You're just like, yes, I have to do it.
Say that again?
Did you say yes without thinking about what it meant? You're like,
oh, no, yeah. Because once it was on the books, you could ask Ellie. I was so nervous because, you know, when you go from playing in the NBA to like average singer, average guitar player, don't know how to write music, throwing yourself out there, but trusting that you've met the right people, which I have, thankfully.
Yeah.
It's been a really cool transition. It really has. I'm excited for everybody to hear everything that we've done because I plan to release music every 4 to 6 weeks until the end of the year. And I mean, drop, I don't know, 25 song album, maybe more. Because I don't know. I don't care. I don't have to follow the rules. With all due respect to people in country music, it's just I want to tell my story. So
well,
here it is.
Rules? I mean,
not really.
No.
I mean, I'm not with a
You're
label,
certainly
so
not living by them.
no.
Let's go for it.
Oh yeah. So no, it's been so much fun. I don't know. I guess to answer your initial question, I just have always wanted to be really good at whatever I'm doing. And I'm competitive. I'm a softie, but I'm competitive. Like if I'm playing Scrabble or Monopoly, forget about it. I'm gonna like snap the board in half if I lose.
You just touched on a point. Gunnar actually reminded me of a couple of quotes that he doesn't like. It's the journey, and we're all on a journey together, which I love. But you touch on something there, Myers, that I think is like kind of really executed by professional athletes. But this word competitive, I think it just gets thrown around like everything. And I for anyone listening, I want to really like break that word down because I think we're all competitive in our own way. But competitive is just wanting to win. It's not wanting others to lose. And I think that that's a really big difference for people when we're starting to talk about business, talk about friendship, talking about sport accomplishments. Real competitors do the hard work to be successful at whatever they do.
That's in here.
Exactly.
That's not like, oh, I want them to lose. All right.
I think that's what you're talking about. Then
But
like,
there's another part of that too, right? I want them to lose, or I want to beat them. I don't feel like I have that. I think my mom was a true like competitor.
It's almost like I'm competing against myself.
My brother is a true competitor and a victorious competitor. Like he's super competitive.
That'd be putting it lightly.
And I think it's served him in a million ways.
I actually haven't all these stories.
I feel like I'm only competing against me. And then you get people saying, well, you know, show me a good loser, I'll show you a real loser. I go, when I lose, I don't feel bad about it if I know I gave everything I have. I don't care where the scoreboard ends up. And I think that may have been a disservice to me over time, but I don't mind being that guy.
No, I don't think it. I think you're.
I just compete against me.
You know, I
don't want to leave anything on the table.
Maybe it's semantics, but it's not about competing with myself. I think you said it the right way, saying you do what you can. You give what you give that day. You compete. You like, this is all I had. I gave it all. I can't control what the other person or the other team did. If what they gave ended up measuring out further, then that's okay. But because like you leave the field complete, and then you know what to go and tweak when you go back to practice or whatever that looks like.
Totally.
So
are you guys all schedule oriented people?
Big time.
Yeah, have to.
Jen and I both have about 30 alarms that go off a day.
At a certain point when you were playing rugby?
Mate, when I was playing, I was to the minute. I didn't drink much. I didn't my sleep. I was too serious.
So I just had a big conversation with a buddy of mine, another musician here in town yesterday. And I do genuinely, I love giving advice. And I think this would be interesting for, it's like the 2% you're talking about. But really, I feel like people, respectfully, are so not focused or they don't know what to do. This is what we touched on before the cameras went live. Like, if you really want to get off your damn phone, go to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get up early. You ever notice when people are on their way to work late, honking on the horn, cussing, You ever been on the interstate at 5 a.m.? Of course, we all have. We're grinders. There ain't nobody. It's smooth sailing. It's like Gunnar talks about when he goes to the gym in the morning. Windows down, music cranked, just chilling. Don't got to speed, no nothing.
They're honking and they're late because they hit the dream bar, right? They kept snoozing. I just think that to me there's a vacancy that's about people are wasting time, filling time versus using time.
The discipline of just
discipline's
what's
the
your
word.
Goal?
Yeah.
But you know,
they don't have it. But they don't have it. You have to have a vision, dude. Look at I work with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he keeps firing back. What's your vision? What's your vision?
Yeah.
But where are you going?
Yeah.
None of this matters. Where are you going? And if you don't know that, you don't have anything.
Just
No,
to touch
so
on what
true.
you said though, Mars, and I think like it's really important for everyone to actually hear this, because you were saying like there's this fear of like not knowing what you were doing. I'm sure you didn't think you knew what you were doing when you went into, you know, country music.
Yeah.
But
100%.
like, but here's the deal, mate. No one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just do it anyway. It's like, it's so funny. I did this thing not long ago. I was talking about like business, and I've been very fortunate with Training Mates grown. It's a sizable company and stuff
Yeah.
now. I started that with nothing. I don't have rich parents. I don't have a trust fund. I don't have anything like that. We started with nothing, including no idea what I was fucking doing.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that if people can just get comfortable with, you don't know what you're doing, but just learn anyway, just trust the process anyway, just show up anyway, just open the door anyway, just read the book anyway, just go to bed early anyway, just do it anyway. Because here's the deal, and from anyone that I've listened to, I'm so curious by nature. I've been so fortunate to be around you guys, but have some other people that you talk about mentors in your life. I've got a bunch of accidental mentors in my life. And what I mean by that is they don't know they're mentors. I just hang around them. I'm like, dude, I love this guy. I walk this way now. I talk this way now. And I've had some enormously powerful people in my life that didn't know they were mentors. And the one thing that I've worked out with all of them is they just had the confidence to keep pursuing what they were passionate about.
Relentlessness.
And they didn't actually know what they're doing. And like, you know, one of my mates is one of the most powerful executives in the country. And we got really like, you know, quite in depth on talking about that. And I was like, hey, you know, he's in his 70s and I'm not. But I was like, man, like I always looked at you as a mentor. I never said it to you. I never did. He goes, oh my God, like, you know, that's so nice to hear and everything like that. But I was like, so many of those stories in our one-on-ones as trainers, we get to have this time. And I was so grateful that I got this guy's time. And like, promise you, I would not charge a cent if he wasn't so, you know, respectful and like always force the money onto me. But I'm like, no, I feel like I should be paying you because I'm learning all these lessons. Like one of the most powerful, smart, intelligent, like charismatic, successful people I've ever met in my life.
I'm not in my 70s.
But the similarity was no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you got to do it anyway. And you got to be committed to the process of success.
So
You know, Jen, you
important.
talked about Arnold for a second. He had a great line somewhere on the talk show way back. And he said, get up an hour earlier every day and do one thing. And he said, whether it's
He's not wrong.
learn a language, read the newspaper, work out. And he went down a list, but those are the ones I remember. And I thought, and he goes, by the end of it, you'll have 365 hours accumulated on that subject matter.
Damn.
And that's a lot of time
Mic drop
doing anything,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah.
Think if you played a video game for that long, right? Think if you studied, if you watched a sport for that long, you would understand so much more. That's a lot of time. And if you do it and it's mapped out to be progressively
Damn, that's so good.
more intense.
Wow.
And but because what it means is you'll have to go to bed a little earlier,
Yeah.
right? You'll have to make choices in the morning to set yourself up to have that time blocked away. But if you give it a concentrated hour and it's just,
It's such a big part of, I think, the mechanism that has made him such a successful person and such a learned person. It's so sweet because, you know, in the pump on the app, like when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger, you see his name in red, you know it's Arnold writing. I know he's on his iPad and he does it, and he doesn't type like emoji or like good job G. Like he says, hey Gunnar, he writes a full response. When he responds to you, he does it. And when someone had talked about not having enough time, and I screenshot his response because it like hit me in the center, like. Arnold's one of the busiest guys on the planet and has been for decades. And he goes, this is my routine. These are things I'd like to get better at, but I'm taking these 30 minutes to be like vigilantly focused on this. These next 30 minutes, vigilantly focused here in the app, talking to you guys. Then I'm going to go here. And he doesn't just schedule the time and block it and then kind of be kind of breezy about it. He's dialed and he uses it. And when you're that focused, and to the point of the anecdote, the 1 hour a day, imagine if you just do 1 hour. And I think sometimes that big of a bite makes people nervous. If you did 10 minutes a day of one thing every day.
But go back to like your college curriculum.
Yeah.
You, whatever your major was, right? You had X amount of classes a week in that, and then you had X amount of study a week in that. Does that add up to that many hours over the 4 years, that's a lot of time,
Yep.
right? If you study something, let's say you pick a language and you say,
Yep.
you know, I want to learn Greek, and you study that an hour a day, every day this year, next year, that's a lot. Like, you can become pretty proficient at anything.
It's true.
And if you take that to the fitness, because I'm going to swing it back to that.
Yeah.
Think of an hour a day of something, fitness, wellness. And I'm not talking about recovery, because I think a lot of times people use recovery as a substitute for workout. And I don't mind that from time to time. But when you keep falling back on that, really what you're telling me is you're not working out.
Yeah.
You know, if you apply that to whether it's strength training, cardio, sleep, body work, stress management, nutrition, there's a lot of, you can just go from literally this to this. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Go to that. I did have one other question for you, and I'm going to ask this on.
Yeah,
on
and
air.
we should-
And
True
then
story
and
about
then we
Cry
gotta
the
get
other night
Luke
when
to the
his daughter
airport.
sang almost every word as I played it on the guitar at his house.
Yep.
Who did?
Monroe.
When you
did.
said,
Oh, I have a video of it.
yeah, he said, Myers, play it.
he's like,
Monroe
really? I go,
pretty
"What?"
much knows every word. I'm like, what?
Wait, which
It's like, bro,
song?
play it. Good and Goodbye.
Good and Goodbye.
I
good.
I gotta
really
make sure I
Oh,
get
thank
that
you.
video, Gunnar. That might be something good to like.
Okay.
I'll send you that video.
As a video
Yeah.
asset.
Always use children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially children who are recovering from cancer. That's solid.
It's just
Gunnar.
tip top. We
Pluck that heartstring.
That would do it.
okay. So we actually had somebody send in a question for you via our video.
Okay.
Would you mind answering?
Not one bit.
Hopefully it's
Can you imagine it's not PG or something really mean?
well.
Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Shelby Motes. Just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity to ask a question on here. So I was a former college athlete, mandatory workouts twice a day, and just curious now that I don't have to work out, no one's forcing me to. Just curious how you guys have remained consistent and stay focused in the gym and kind of instill habits within yourself that allow you to do so. Because I know it can be a struggle at times to stay in the gym when no one's forcing you to, and trying to maintain fitness as we get older. So just curious what you guys do.
Good question.
I feel like everybody should answer it.
Yeah.
If that's all right.
Yeah. Go first.
Me?
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, you're-
First of all, hell of a mustache. Second of all,
Hell of a mustache, pal.
I'm trying to think of actually yesterday Adam Fletcher, who is a very good friend of mine, this head strength coach at University of Illinois, where I went to school. It's said something like your lack of discipline in the gym at 30 and or with nutrition at 30 and your lack of discipline to stay fit at 40 and such turns into arthritis. And I'm really botching this. I wish I had my phone. I would look it up. But the point is we have a choice to make every day. I don't know, like being fit and being like feeling good is a really good thing.
Yeah.
The easy thing to do is to be lazy. But who the hell wants to do that? Nobody. Well, some people, not me.
Most
I was going to
people.
say earlier, like when it came to basketball or trying to learn music and all these different things, I'll be truthful. I used to laugh about this, but I like looking in the mirror and looking good. Now, I don't look like I once did. I told myself actually last night, thank God I'm starting to figure it out again. I forget your name. I'm sorry.
Shelby.
Say again?
Was it Shelby? Shelby. Yeah.
Shelby. I'm in the same boat. I want to look like I once did, and I haven't gone as hard in the gym as I probably should.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's there's a zillion excuses. Oh, I'm trying to write music. I'm a dad now. I'm getting less sleep. Wrong answer. I could, and I will, and I'm going to. But truthfully, I love looking in the mirror and be like, all right,
Yeah.
I look
Vanity
fucking
plays.
good.
Yeah.
Like, it's the truth. Like,
Yeah.
look good, feel good, play good, whatever you want to say. Like, you guys know it. When you walk into a business meeting and some, man or like, if they're fit, you're like, oh, they got their shit together. And it's not to say that some people who aren't fit don't.
No.
But the point is like, there's a choice to be made.
It's hand in hand.
And I
I
have
agree.
seen, whether it's my grandfather passed of Alzheimer's. Now, whether or not that was going to happen, I don't know. The point is like, we all have been, I'm come from a real community. There's some people who probably don't work out maybe the way they should. And it ends up impacting you heavily as your life goes on.
Yeah.
And look at this guy. I text him and truthfully, I was like, all right, I need to get my big ass back in the gym. He was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll be doing cardio 5:30 to 6:30. I'll stretch from 6:30 to 6:50. And then I'll lift from 6:50 to 7:50, shower for 10 minutes and have clients all day. And I'm like,
Yeah.
sick. Like, I want to be like this guy.
Yeah.
But he gets it.
Yeah,
He's got that it factor.
Like I get it, and I don't do that. I don't know. I'd push it slightly differently because Shelby, you're coming from a place where, for all of us, we had mapped out. Actually, not Gunnar, right? The three of us were doing Division I or professional sports, right? So we had something that Gunnar didn't have. We had
lettered in drinking in college.
Right.
Nice.
What we had, in my opinion, was a handicap.
It's so true. Oh my God, I've never thought about it.
We didn't have to work any mental muscles for the accountability. Like we had accountability. We had to show it was part of the regimen. It wasn't part of my choice.
Whoa, this is so good. I've never heard it said.
So
like
I got out of college. I blew up. I mean, I went from 3 a days, and I would eat 2 Chipotle burritos back to back because that's just what it was happening.
Sure.
And then I kept doing that and was bartending, and any night that I wasn't bartending and drinking, I was still out drinking and eating out. And I started to really gain weight. And so vanity was in the back of my mind, but the greater force that got me back on track was who I started to become. I was mean. I was edgy. I didn't want to be intimate. I was argumentative. Very victim mentality. I had such a soured personality, and it was dark, and it wasn't. No one wants to be around that. And so once I started to put healthy habits back into place, it was hard. It was like an addict trying to stop an old behavior. And so once I started to learn a regimen of like, I'm just going to get to the gym, and then I would set an alarm, and I would cancel it, and I would cry, and I'd be mad at myself for canceling. I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm just going to go to Taco Bell again. Yeah. So I went through all these series of like failures and quits and starts and failures and quits and starts. And so for me, ultimately, I just wanted to feel better, and I didn't want to turn out like my family. So for me, I saw an end of a road that I was like, that will not be me. And so I had to figure out a different way out of what I did. And it took me probably about like a 3 to 4 year swing to change the habits. But that's what it was for me. I had to create my own mental muscle around habit change because I felt like I was handicapped in sports.
God, good for you. I just want to quickly say before Luke goes.
There you go.
It's really hard to look at the person in the mirror sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we fail a lot of the times is to say like, oh, no, I'm okay. Like I've got my drinking buddies or whatever. Well,
you'll always find someone that will take you at your worst and to make it okay.
Question.
It's also, as a human, it's easy to have rose-colored glasses on when you are looking at yourself in the mirror, like actually looking at yourself in the mirror.
Well, and
I'm all right. I can see some good things.
No doubt.
I'm all right. And I think that like that, to segue into Shelby, what I think once you've learned or once you know how good it feels to feel good.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that I keep reminding myself of and I keep getting back to. So like my rule is I'm not in playing shape 365 every time, but I don't let myself get too far out of it.
Totally.
I'll blow out 5 or 10. I'm like, hey, let's go.
Yeah,
pull it back in, and I'm probably there now. So let's get
I had that moment last night, like I said.
I picked him up today. He goes, I feel like I'm pregnant. I was like, all right, the drama is a little high, Lukey.
Yeah. No,
I love it.
But I think that a lot of people are just having that ability. Maybe use people around you to have that accountability.
Yeah.
Totally. Having the ability to go, you know what? It's probably time.
Yeah.
And I think that in Australia, it's in our DNA to be active. So you grow up active. It's also in our DNA to drink too many beers. You know what I mean? That is.
So I've heard from some of my teammates, that I've been lucky enough to run some Aussies.
Yeah, you'll hang out with too many Aussies. You'll lose some IQ points, but you'll learn how to drink. but it's
clip that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's a thumbnail. But mate, I just think that's just like remembering how good it feels to feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people that have gone like too far, that are seriously unhealthy, that our goal is to help. Our goal is to, obviously educate people and to help people get a healthy lifestyle. I think that a lot of people, the biggest problem is that they actually have never felt good. Ever.
Correct.
And I just want people to feel it once because I think it's an addiction.
Well, it's easier to fight for it once you know what you're fighting for.
I agree.
If you don't believe it exists, you don't pull from the same place.
100%. 100%.
I was a fat kid.
No.
So it was always.
I never believed him when he said that, but it's.
Yeah, true. I was in Weight Watchers when I was 10. I have the card, literally. And when I got to college and I learned about working out, and I know you can't out-train a bad diet, and I've tested that theory.
Cut is in the kitchen.
But I've tried. When I got into the working out, it was an interesting form of control. Oh, wait, I can control this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm not a victim.
Do you feel like it was a borderline eating disorder?
No, I think
You just saw it as like,
I just ate too much.
Okay.
All the time. And I ate anything, and I ate garbage, and I had zero concept of nutrition. I mean, I remember my grandma picking us up from camp in Maryland, and she put us in the back of the pickup. By the way, no seatbelts, no car seats, and with a large Coke glass bottle, drink that in the back of a pickup, and a box of Ho-Hos.
yeah.
Those still exist. I've seen them in the stores, and we would kill the box on the way back to the farm.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good nutrition, people. Anyway, but I feel like when I started to feel like I had control over it through working out, then I wanted to learn about and explore nutrition, which I didn't really get into in college. In college, I think I ate like shit. But after that, then I started learning. I learned about the macros. I learned about calorie deficit, calorie surplus, and I started applying it. And then I go, I can make this whatever I want. That's amazing.
It's cool.
Totally.
Yeah, and then got into training people because I wanted to share. Share it sounds funny, but I just want to, like, you want to shout it from the rooftop. Hey, you can do this. I did it. You can do it. So that's the reason I chase it, because part of it is I like having the control over it, and I feel that I do. I know I can have a couple cocktails. I know I can have dessert with my kids.
Totally, like that freedom.
But I make good choices most of the time.
Yeah.
And if I don't make a good choice, I'm not a victim. I am consciously making the bad choice because I want what's on the other side of that.
Yep.
And that's
Amen.
all me all the time. So
I think
good.
in some we answered it in all of that. No.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have one final question?
yeah, final question I'll ask everybody. That's a guest on here. I don't need to ask you people.
Yeah, I was like,
So that's me, or
Yeah, that's you. So
I was like, that was really
So-
confusing. This is to you.
So best. It's not even that kind of question.
That's one.
Yeah.
So best ideal day workout wise, and you can get into specifics. I don't say I lift, I do cardio. Like what are great movements you do lifting that you love doing? Best nutrition, best, like, what are your ideal meals? Supplementation, rest and recovery, and you can.
Oh, it's dialed, brother. I got all the information up here in my head.
Go ahead.
I think it's
So
kind of like
my
give people
ankle is a little limiting.
Awesome.
I have like a chronic 10 out of 10, like 87-year-old ankle. But when I was playing, I did love to move some weight. I think it's really important.
Ben Bruno posted a deadlift video of yours that was impressive by any standard. So
Yeah, I mean, 450 from the floor for 10 at 7 feet.
right.
I love deadlifting. I just love kind of being a meathead, to be honest.
Yeah.
But honestly,
great
Ellie and I
place
have
to
had this
be.
talk a million times, and Ben and Gunnar kind of helped change her mind. Like, and maybe you can expand on this once I'm done answering or whatever. But like, I feel like sometimes females feel like if they lift too much, they're going to get bulky or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know. I think it's a good thing.
Jen's just all bands.
My God. Okay. So an ideal day would be honestly getting your workout in the morning. There's something about, and I even told Ellie this, and admittedly, I haven't been committed enough to the process that he's like, Mike, show up whenever you want. I haven't gone as many times as I should, if I'm being truthful, on camera. It's the truth. Like I said, man in the mirror, not easy to say sometimes, but
Yeah.
getting your workout in the morning, we all know it. Like, you just feel like your whole day is
So you,
like you're just on a roll at
an
that
AM
point.
trained for you.
So an AM train for sure, followed by either a protein shake or I for probably 15 straight years, I've missed less than, 25 days. 6 to 7 eggs for breakfast, no question.
Yeah.
Down the hatch. Avocado, sweet potatoes, or oatmeal. So Golia, who's Gunnar's close friend, good friend of mine, I'm sure you guys probably know him as well. I went to him and he actually found a few internal medicine issues. I have Hashimoto's, so thyroid condition. I have MTHFR, gene mutation, like quite a few things. Like when people look at me, this would be good for listeners. When people look at me, and I'm not trying to pump myself up, I'm big, strong, 7 feet, wide shoulders, whatever, played in the NBA.
But you have
I actually have a lot of.
But you also, and I said this to you when I first met you, like your proportion. A lot of people who are larger than normal.
Sure.
There's disproportionate. Like they have like an oddly long torso or super long legs.
Yeah,
but
totally.
You're very proportioned.
Yeah,
like a minute
but
to
and
six.
I also said this would be a great.
Like most tall people look like they're built like a minute to 6, It's
I think
like
this would be a great way to
yeah.
answer it. 7 feet helped, and being able to shoot helped me stay in the NBA for 10 years. But I had to be a pros pro. I really, really did. Because of some of the inflammatory things going on, I had to get my sleep. I had to hydrate. I was eating 4,850 calories pretty much per day. I'd wake up and I'd have my breakfast, I'd have my post-workout shake, have a lunch that was 6 to 8 ounces of chicken, sweet potatoes, broccoli. 2 hours later, same thing. 2 hours later, protein shake and a split
It's work
packet.
to eat, isn't it?
Say again?
It's work to eat.
I always tell it's like a second job, but I had to have it. So a good workout, good nutrition, and now these days it would be spending time with Ellie and Liam. And well, let me back up. Trying to write a good song, working on music, and
So
then
you write in the morning?
yeah, middle of the day ish. And then by the time the evening comes, we are very fortunate. We have a nanny. She's there Monday through Thursday, and it's fantastic because I also think it's important to have the things that you're interested in, like kind of like 3 buckets. I don't know, your family, something you're interested in, and your job normally, but I'm retired at 33, so it's a little weird, but.
Well, you're just taking up a new career. Listen,
Yeah, that.
There we go.
So pushing myself in music, which I did want to say this earlier. Like when I first started learning guitar, 8 to 10 hours a day. Now I had shoulder surgery and ankle surgery, so I had plenty of time on my hands. 8 to 10 hours a day for 2 straight years
Yeah.
because I wanted to learn that bad.
Yeah.
So just doing music and then being with Ellie and Liam in the evening. I mean, I've never looked forward to this phase of my life more than any phase of my life. Not remotely close. I feel like I'm in my prime of life, really, because the whole dad being gone thing is probably why.
Yeah, sure.
But I found the right woman. I'm so grateful for Ellie. We have a baby boy. Number 2's on the way. This is up to Ellie, but we've always planned on 3. I admittedly, I'd love to have a little girl next.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I just I go day by day. I definitely feel like I have a decent amount of discipline, and I'm trying to do all the things and be a good dad and be a good husband, and push myself to also be better and with a new skill set with music, and then of course again, and most importantly, probably specifically to this podcast, just staying in good shape. I want to be able to run around with my kids. I want to,
That's the whole thing. You want, and you also build. You want, to me, the fitness. We had something written in the old gym. It said everything you do inside the gym makes everything you do outside the gym better.
Yep.
Jesus, so good.
And right, and
his isms.
I look at that and go,
isms, so good.
and I go, I do the gym so I can do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't talk about the gym like, what was your workout like? It's like describing your shower. I don't know. I got in, I did hair, but then I got out. Like, to go into it is, who cares? It's the thing that made all the other things good.
Yep.
Right? So to your point about going home and being with them, you're a better dad. You're a better spouse, right?
Totally.
For our workouts, you're a better trainer. You're a better friend. You're a better businessman. Those are the things that are key.
No doubt.
So I say that Meyers just put the good in goodbye.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, baby.
Wow.
I love it.
Oh, you
So
can only
good.
use that once in the podcast.
Download that song.
Okay. Is that
That's a
real?
good song.
That's the song. Oh, good and goodbye.
I know.
What's it? There's another one that has a funkier beat that the kids like and they dance.
Honky-Tonk at home.
There you go.
So good and good. I will admit, writing a country song. Now, most basketball fans are not fans of country music, which is okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Jimmy Butler is.
That's true.
Hey now.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Great teammate. But writing a song about my whole basketball career and life and thanking my friends and family and all this and that and the transition of everything, making that in the music is why Caleb and Steve are so good at what they do. And then Honky-Tonk at Home, Steve was just like, dude, you need something like Josh Turner. You got a low register. We gotta write something like real mature and like.
Well,
I was like, cool, let's do it.
You did it.
We did
You
it.
did the thing.
We did it. Oh yeah. But I'm loving it. I really am.
Awesome.
It's been awesome.
Dude, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure. You're a good guy, man.
Thank you. I feel like we're all smiling ear to ear. This has been so it's not like we spent a ton of time together, but our energies,
It's already there.
100%.
it's there.
Already close to
So this has been great.
Guys,
Who's got the closing comments for us?
Didn't Gunnar have one? What was Gunnar supposed
The
to
good
say?
and goodbye.
That was
It
it.
was done there.
Oh, Madonna. Wait a minute. Can we hear the song played out loud? So this is you. Wait a minute. This is
Your
when?
audition.
Well, this was
First of all, bizarre
No,
video.
that's it.
This is it.
This is when? High school?
I was listen, guys. I was in 6th grade, and
Sixth grade.
I was
You probably remember it though.
yeah. The play was Calamity Jane, and I did not get the part. Oh, I'm not singing it.
Well, that's it. That's the show. You're welcome. And we're sorry.
Don't forget to hydrate, lift heavy, and maybe call your mum. Actually, after listening to the 3 of us, maybe call the priest.
Please like and subscribe and comment even if you only mildly enjoyed yourself. We'll see you next week.